announced by Minister Lim Swee Say, so you will be confirmed leading a team at this Holland-Bukit Timah constituency?
Well, in the usual PAP fashion, nothing is confirmed until nomination day. But right now, I'm working on the assumption that I will be fielded here, which I'm very comfortable to be. I've been here now for 10 years. I've covered two out of the 4 divisions, so I've literally walked every single HDB block in half this GRC. So I'll be very comfortable, and I hope that the Prime Minister will allow me to continue in this GRC.
So we assume that you will be leading the team, so what is your message to voters? Why should they give you another term, you and your team another term?
The campaign hasn't started yet, you know. But this is home for me. I live in this GRC. My parents were teachers in Bukit Panjang Primary School, so if I could pick a GRC which reflects my roots and my origins, this is it. But on a more serious note, over the past 10 years, we have upgraded all the eligible blocks in the public housing estates. We have also progressively upgraded all the private estates here. The town council, led by Mayor Teo Ho Pin, has done a great job in maintaining and in keeping the place spick and span. The key development that is going on right now within this GRC obviously is the MRT line, which will provide us with multiple stations that will really link up this GRC, or from Bukit Panjang all the way down here and then on to downtown, as well as provide access and interchanges to all the other MRT lines as well. Going beyond that, there are also further plans to expand and take advantage of the fact that the nature reserve is within this GRC. So this is a very green area, and the further expansion of the network of park connectors, as well as the development of the sports complex in Bukit Panjang, which we did on my watch. So the point is that if you judge us on our track record, we have delivered, and we have delivered substantially and at a quality which I believe our residents are happy with. But elections are not just fought on track records alone. This is a somewhat unique GRC because of the large extent of private estates. And even for the public estates, this is a well-established, you could say it is a well-established. So many of the flats here, are 2 or 3 decades old. But if you look around, you'll see because they've been upgraded and maintained, they look as good as new. So I think one key consideration for the residents in this GRC will be to preserve the value of their assets. Anyone who's lived here and bought a flat here 10, even 5 years ago, or 10, 20 or 30 years ago has seen substantial appreciation of their assets. I think preservation and further appreciation of assets will be a key consideration for the residents in Holland-Bukit Timah. Beyond that, because many people here are middle class, and their children are looking at whether there'll be economic growth, whether there are jobs, and the prospects for the future. So clearly, I think the performance of the economy and whether they have confidence in the team that is able to continue economic growth and opportunities, especially for young people, will be a consideration. Equally, I think the young people in this GRC will also, those who haven't yet bought houses or bought flats, will also be concerned about whether they can get on to the housing ladder. And the fact that HDB is now embarking on a more accelerated rollout of its BTO projects, and especially new flats and new developments up in Bukit Panjang, will also enable us to give that assurance to our residents that their children will also be able to buy flats and to live close to their families, and thereby maintain the the family links. So the point is, we run this place well. We're prepared to stand on our track record. There are ongoing developments which you can look forward to: transport, sports, nature reserves, and to take advantage of our unique location and assets. And I think the key issues for the election will be assets, economy, and prospects for the future. And we will stand on that, and we will see who comes here, and and we'll deal with it. We will not take an election for granted. Every single vote is precious, and regardless of outcomes, regardless of whether or not it is contested, we will continue to do our best and serve the residents in the same way we've been doing for the last 10 years.
So are we expecting new members joining your team?
Well, let me put it to you this way. I'm not going to announce the lineup today, but what I can give you an assurance is that at least half my team will consist of office holders. That's about as much of a hint I'm prepared to give you.
Existing one or future office holder you're talking?
You'll have to wait a while more.
There's a lot of speculation that Madam Yufu has been around for a long time. She happens to be in your ministry as well. Would you care to comment on whether she will be fielded again?
I'm not going to comment on that.
How will the 5+1 drop to 4+1 affect workload?
Yes, that's a very good point. After the elections, on the assumption that we win, we will continue to run it as 4+1, and the town council will stay intact. This town council has done a great job over the last 10 years, and I think anyone who speaks to the residents on the ground will attest to that. And we will continue. And at 4+1, we will continue to have the economies of scale, as well as the experience that has been built up to continue to run and maintain this place as to the standards which our residents demand. So I've already settled that with my colleague, Dr. Teo, whom I expect will be fielded in the Bukit Panjang SMC. So it will be the Holland-Bukit Panjang Town Council after the election. I am very pleased for Bonavista. He's clearly someone whom, in my opinion, is destined for high office. And I think we will all look forward to his performance, not only during the election, but after the election, to win his spurs in the political arena rather than in the military arena. But I think he's got, I've interviewed him, I've interacted with him. I'm very, very impressed by him and have high hopes for him.
We are in Ulu Pandan today,
yes.
And this is where Ms. Tin Pei Ling was working for 7 years. And after she was introduced on Monday, there's been some reaction to her from Singaporeans, some negative, some positive, online and offline. Were you surprised at the negative reaction to Ms. Tin? You were the one who brought her into grassroots work.
I think this is politics. You have to expect both the good and the bad. And a key challenge for any candidate is how you deal with the challenges and the criticisms, and whether you're able to keep your cool, maintain your dignity, and not allow this to deter your willingness and your enthusiasm to serve. As a young person, I think she will have to prove it. And she will have to prove it through her actions and what she's able to do for the residents. I think no amount of commentary, positive or negative, is going to make a difference. Let's see how she performs on the ground.